Is Samsung finally ready to power up its next flip phone the way users have been hoping for? The Galaxy Z Flip 7 is starting to get a lot of attention, and one of the biggest reasons is the processor it might come with. According to recent leaks, Samsung could be planning to use the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 chip, also known as the Snapdragon 8 Elite, in this upcoming foldable. If that happens, it could be a noticeable boost in performance, especially for users who care about speed, gaming, and efficiency. For a while, there were talks that Samsung might go with its in-house Exynos 2500 processor instead. While that would still be an upgrade over the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 found in the Galaxy Z Flip 6, there's still a clear preference in the tech world for Qualcomm's chips. They usually perform better in everyday tasks, and especially in graphics-heavy apps like games. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 is expected to be faster, smarter with power usage, and better at staying cool during heavy use, all things that matter a lot in a slim foldable device. Right now, nothing is official. It seems like Samsung is testing both chips in different versions of the Flip 7. That could mean one of two things. Either they haven't decided yet, or they're planning to launch different versions for different markets, which they've done in the past. Still, the possibility of getting a more powerful Snapdragon chip has got a lot of people talking. Besides the processor, there are also hints of some useful upgrades in other areas. One of the biggest might be the battery. The current Z Flip 6 uses a 4000 mAh battery. For the Z Flip 7, rumors suggest that Samsung could increase that to 4300 mAh. That may not seem like a huge leap, but every extra bit of power matters, especially when you have two screens and a small body that limits battery space. Combine that with a more efficient processor and users could get longer usage out of each charge. Another expected improvement is the size of the cover screen. The Z Flip 6 features a 3.4-inch outer display, but the Z Flip 7 might come with a 4.0-inch screen instead. That might not sound like a lot on paper, but for a foldable, it's a meaningful upgrade. A larger outer screen can show more notifications, let you use apps, check messages, or control music, all without needing to open the phone every time. However, if you're hoping for big changes to the camera setup, don't get your hopes up too high. Based on early leaks, it looks like the Z Flip 7 will stick with the same 50-megapixel main camera and 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens. While it would have been nice to see an upgrade, Samsung seems to be focusing more on performance and battery life rather than new camera hardware this time around. It's also important to look at what the competition is doing. Motorola has been stepping up its game with the Razr series, offering strong alternatives with bold designs. Samsung still leads the foldable market, but it needs to keep pushing forward. For users who prefer the smaller flip style over the bigger fold style phones, adding a better chip and improving the battery could make the Flip 7 a more complete and reliable choice. If the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 rumor turns out to be true, this could be the fastest and most efficient Z Flip yet. Better performance, more battery life, and a bigger outer screen could make it one of the best compact foldables available. Thanks for watching. If you want more updates like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss anything. Could skipping an update actually be a better idea? That's what Samsung might be planning with the upcoming Galaxy S26 series. And while it might sound unusual, it could actually be a smart move. Although the Galaxy S26 is still months away from release, people are already talking about what's next. Based on past releases, it's easy to guess the usual upgrades: faster chip, improved cameras, and another high-quality display. But this year, the software side of things is where the story gets interesting. In the past few months, Samsung had a tough time rolling out One UI 7. It faced delays, bugs, and complaints from users who had to wait longer than expected. Because of that, many are now wondering how Samsung plans to handle its next update. According to some reports, the company might not launch One UI 8.1 at all. Instead, it could skip straight to One UI 8.5, and honestly, that might not be such a bad idea. Some sharp-eyed users recently found references to One UI 8.5 in Samsung's system code. But what's strange is that there's no sign of 8.1 anywhere. This has led many to believe that Samsung is cutting up the smaller update to focus on something more meaningful. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Why spend time and resources on a small update that offers only a few minor changes? Samsung might be saving that time to deliver a more useful and polished version with One UI 8.5. That way, users get more new features at once instead of getting updates that don't really change much. If this plan goes forward, it looks like the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7 will come with One UI 8.0, while the Galaxy S26 will launch with One UI 8.5. That would make the S26 series the first Samsung phones to include the newest version of the software, giving it a bit of an edge over the rest. Now it's important to understand that One UI 8.5 will still be based on Android 16. Android 17 is expected to come sometime in 2026, so this won't be a completely new operating system, but it will still offer noticeable improvements built on top of Android 16. That could include better tools, smoother performance, and a more modern user experience. So what can we expect from One UI 8.5? Although Samsung hasn't shared the full list of features yet, many believe the focus will be on artificial intelligence. Other phone companies are already using AI to improve things like camera quality, voice commands, and app suggestions. Samsung is likely to go in the same direction. In recent updates, Samsung has added some AI features, and One UI 8.5 will probably take that further. AI could help you take better photos, organize your phone more easily, or even speed up everyday tasks. Whether people love or hate the term AI, there's no doubt that it's becoming a regular part of smartphones now. In the big picture, skipping One UI 8.1 might actually be a way for Samsung to avoid unnecessary steps and give users something more useful. Instead of rolling out small changes that people barely notice, Samsung could be aiming for bigger updates that feel fresh and exciting. So what do you think? Would you prefer fewer updates that bring more value, or do you like getting smaller ones more often, even if they don't do much? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you want to stay on top of the latest Samsung news, updates, and leaks, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button so you won't miss what's coming next. Affordable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay updated on Apple's foldable plans and more tech news, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Samsung's upcoming Galaxy Z Flip 7 is shaping up to be a major upgrade, and one of the biggest surprises is its improved battery life. If you've been following Samsung's foldable phones, you might not have expected a significant battery boost this year. But according to reliable sources, the Z Flip 7 will continue the trend started by the Z Flip 6, bringing yet another jump in battery capacity. The rumor suggests that the Z Flip 7 will feature a battery size of around 4,300 mAh, up from 4,000 mAh on the Z Flip 6. This is a major improvement considering that just 2 years ago, the Z Flip 5 had a 3,700 mAh battery. Seeing 2 consecutive battery upgrades is quite rare for Samsung's foldable lineup, especially when looking at the Z Fold series, which has seen little to no change in battery capacity over the years. The Z Fold 6, Z Fold 5, and Z Fold 4 all featured the same 4,400 mAh battery, and the Z Fold 2 even had a slightly larger 4,500 mAh battery back in 2020. This suggests that Samsung is taking a different approach when upgrading the Flip and Fold models. Like previous Flip models, the Z Flip 7 will likely use a dual battery setup. The leaked details indicate that the 2 batteries will have rated capacities of 2,985 mAh and 1,189 mAh, which should translate to an advertised 4,300 mAh capacity. This is roughly a 7-8% increase from the Z Flip 6, which could result in a similar improvement in battery life.